Lou, what's up, man? I tried to go live at the courthouse, but I couldn't get a signal. But they said they were going to have a press conference here at this lawyer's office. So there was a lot of other people that showed up that said that they were being harassed and stalked by this guy, Joseph Lowry. Everybody seems to have the same story. This guy shows up at their place of business, shows up at their church, posts their address all over the internet, takes pictures of their homes, posts those on the internet, takes pictures of their wife's cars with their tag number, posts that on the internet. This guy's just menacing people. Now, as far as this court case goes today, I really don't have all the details. I know what's being said. The guy has been slandering, Joseph Lowry slandering this guy's business and making him lose money and making him lose business connections, saying that they're criminals, saying that they've been dumping asbestos in the rivers. I don't know if these claims are true or not, but I'm just going to report the news. I'm going to stay biased. Does that make sense? All I know is what I do and what I know. But so they're going to have a press conference in here, the lawyer. Let's go see what they have to say. Basically, what happened in court, Joseph Lowry did not show up. His lawyer was there. The lawyer said he had just been hired this morning, and the judge gave him a continuance to get prepared. The judge went over the rules and procedures of the courtroom, so it just basically got continued. But it was crazy that there was the amount of people that showed up, all claiming the same thing. Kind of like what this guy did to me. He just started harassing me on the internet, posting my address, slandering me. And he slandered me, saying that I was the two main things he said about me was I'm a crackhead and a baby abuser. And neither one of those things are true. So if he's willing to say that about me, there's no links to what this guy will go through. I'm looking for this lobby, man. Is this it? Is this Trey's conference room? Yeah. He's supposed to hold a press conference, so that's why I'm here. He said in the conference room. Is that the conference room? I'll see if he's back here.
Well, I just seen him walked out that way. But he could. He still be back on the line.
He's back there? All right, thanks, man. First door. Oh, here it is. It's locked. Is this the conference room?
No, we'll go to the conference room. Yeah.
Okay. I'm already live, just so you guys know.
Let me call you back in a minute.
This is the man that's suing Joseph Lowry today? Yeah. We'll go in the conference room. We'll wait for his lawyer. I really wish that lady would have showed up, man, because she had a great story about how he's been harassing her. What was her name? Salazar?
Manuel and Salazar.
Manuel and Salazar.
And then from what the Joseph Lowry's attorney said was that we should be going after the city of Lamarck, not him.
Yeah.
Because he's a city council. But it's not the city of Lamarck who's attacking me. It's Lowry News Network.
Yeah. And look, guys, this guy is just a hard worker. He owns a construction business. And Joseph Lowry's trying to ruin this man's business. All this man wants to do is go to work and make money for his family.
September 1st, I sent out a message to Joseph.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, please leave me out of whatever this BS he's doing.
Yeah.
I just want to work, take care of my family. I take care of my mom, my aunt.
Yeah.
We're both elderly. Spend a lot of time with my grandkids.
Yeah.
And he never commented, but I said, do what you will. And now he's attacking me.
This is attorney Trey Spear. They call him the Texas Spear. Good to see you, Trey.
How you doing? Yeah, thanks. Should we go in the conference?
Yes.
room? Go, sorry.
I was hoping that lady Mandolin Salazar would come down here, but I couldn't. I tried to call her and she didn't answer. I would have loved to interview her too. She told me her story in the courthouse, but I didn't get it recorded. Wow, look at this conference room, man. This is nice.
This is one of the properties that he built.
Oh, you-
Started building it, and it was owned by Jerome Carroll, and then he's saying it's a dilapidated building. This is what he's calling a dilapidated.
This is the building he's been talking about?
Yeah, this is.
Wow.
Dilapidated.
Look at this building. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is an amazing, amazing place. This is where my office is.
And
This is Attorney Trey Lave Spear, the
Yeah.
Texas Spear.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Is it live?
Yeah, I'm live.
Okay, yeah, well, so here's what happened. So we filed a temporary restraining order against him. The court said that they want an underlying lawsuit to go with the temporary restraining order. So in some research, I found out, yes, we can sue him for defamation. We can also sue him for harassment, stalking. So stalking is defined where it's done to, it's a constant posting or reaching out somebody in a public forum in a way to harass, feel uncomfortable, or alarm that person.
Texas Penal Code 42.072.
Exactly.
I was
yeah.
charged with that one time, so I know it very well. But I beat the
And
case.
there's also a Texas Civil Practice and Remedies Code that goes along with that,
Yeah.
like a civil stalking statute.
And then I'd like the viewers to know, yes, he says I'm a criminal or whatever. Yes, I've been in prison. I've changed my life. I got out in 2012. I got a parole in 2015. I've had one speeding ticket since then. I have over 50 people who depend on me for their paycheck, who respect me. Everybody respects me. I went from a nothing to where I am now.
Yeah.
And yes, I have a criminal background. I did turn my life around. And he's constantly calling me an active criminal. I don't break the law even the slightest. I know what the consequences are. I've been there.
Well, congratulations on turning your life around. I too turned my life around as well. So what are the underlying things that he's saying to you that are slander? I know you told me once, but just remind me, and for the audience members.
He calls me an active criminal, says I've taken illegal activities to protect the Karen family that I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
We haven't filed it yet.
Yeah, he says things that are untrue.
Yeah.
And he's claiming that they are conducting illegal dumping, illegal construction practices, stuff like that, which couldn't be further from the truth. There are environmental reports that show that the facts that he's claiming are true aren't even possible.
Yeah.
Because the materials that he's claiming are being dumped weren't even present.
Yeah.
So the building was built way after that particular building material was even allowed anymore. It had already been out of the systems of being used in the building for 2 years.
So he's hurting your business.
Yes,
And by him being
He has shut down businesses, maybe not, I hate to say not him directly, but he will call different agencies and say this and that. And several times EPA, conservationists have all come out there, checked all my sites, tested the ground, tested the soil, dug up the ground, and found every one of them false allegations. The last time they came out, I think it was like 6 times they came out only on different jobs.
that cost you a ton of money right there. 'Cause
Right.
when you're dealing with EPA, you're not making money on your
Exactly.
business. I know that.
And they were actually laughing about how much whoever it is going, I'm not saying it was him, it was from his post that this all started. He just puts a list of people that he's contacting or should be contacted.
The amount of support we had in there today was really good.
Yes.
People were on our side. The
People
news
I
was
never
on our
met.
side. I-45 now. Even his own city council members are saying, we don't want this guy posting.
Yeah.
It's causing unrest, and it's
Yeah.
disturbing the peace among everybody in Galveston County, Texas City, Lamar.
On his post, he's constantly calling me an active criminal. and an enforcer
Yeah.
for like a criminal organization or empire, which I don't even know where that could even come from.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. They'd say I'm $1.50 soaking wet.
Yeah.
He's posting repetitive things that are done to harass, to make these people that he's posting about feel uncomfortable, to make everybody want to, know more information. And it's all public information. You can go online, you can research the stuff and see that the stuff that he's talking about is just not true. It couldn't be further from the truth.
And it's just meant to damage these people's livelihoods. Yeah.
Exactly. And alarm and harass. So, I mean, we can talk about his criminal history.
And with him being a city councilman, people actually respect his opinion and listen to his words more than they would just a regular person, because he's a councilman. People look up to him, they respect him. He's supposed to be an honorable person. So when he says these untrue things about you, people believe it.
I have actually messages from Joseph Lowry on my phone from when he's saying all this. He is the concrete company that we hired when I built the Texas Fountain.
Yeah.
And the messages are, that is the greatest project I've ever worked on, my brother.
Yeah.
This is the coolest project I've ever worked on in over 20 years. I mean, just so many good messages. And that was back in 2020.
So that's how you became affiliated with him. You and him used to be business partners.
Not partners.
Or just...
No, we hired him as a subcontractor to use his trucks when we poured the concrete.
Your business hired his business?
Correct.
Okay, so that's why he's sour. Y'all ended up having to fire him, I bet?
No.
Y'all just quit using him?
I don't know what happened in that.
No.
That job ended and other jobs were beginning.
Yeah.
He didn't get any more jobs.
He didn't get
Just
any
put it
more
like
jobs.
that. He didn't get any more jobs with that company.
Yeah.
They didn't bring him on as a sub after that.
Oh, you told me that he tried to blame you guys because he bought a bunch of brand new trucks.
That's what I've been told, was that he was gonna do that's hearsay. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get.
But what you're thinking is I remember you told
He
me.
holds other people responsible for his possibly poor
Yeah.
business decision.
He bought some brand new concrete pump trucks, and then when these guys didn't hire him anymore, he blamed them for him not being able to pay for the new trucks he bought, which is just ridiculous. And that's hearsay. It's just
That is hearsay.
that's just purely speculative.
But I mean, as far as even, which I have a copy of, back in September, when he's been harassing me for well over a year.
Yeah.
I was like, man, why's this guy doing this? I've never had a crossword with him.
Yeah.
Never. I even reached out to him, which I shouldn't have because it was fuel to fire, on September 1st. And I even said, Joseph, you know who this is. I'm wanting to talk peacefully. I've never said one cross word about you or did anything. I'm just trying to work to support my family. Yes, I have a past, and I go on that I haven't had a issue since I got out of prison. And I tell him that I just want to, I lost it, but I just want to work, live my life, keep me out of all of his BS. And I don't want to help or hinder either side.
Yeah.
I just want to do my job,
Yeah.
support my family.
Bottom line is, he goes to different towns and he sees somebody that he can latch onto and be parasitic to, and he just, he could be talking about the mayor of Kemah,
One
or
second.
he could be talking about anybody in this town.
Yeah.
But he chooses to go after the people that have helped this city and helped this county more than a lot of people have. People don't understand, what makes a city vibrant, what makes a city good. It's the people that go in there and want to take risks and put their name on the line in order to get construction jobs done, get new infrastructure in place. They're building roads. They're building I-45 is going up. They're going to put in 4 new overpasses between here and Galveston, Iowa. That is going to make this area explode with, that's going to make Lamar explode with population. That's going to make, the people are going to be moving into Galveston County, and there's going to be a lot of money coming in here because of it.
Right.
Why? Because you're talking about basically a road that connects, and underpasses that connect 45 to Highway 6 to 146 and Highway 3, and it's going to be like the main vein of Texas, where you've got, Houston, a city, a massive city, where now you're going to be able to get from Houston downtown to Galveston in like 35 minutes because of how nice the new highways and new infrastructure are going in.
A little update, Miss Salazar is on the way, she'll be here in 2 minutes.
Oh, cool. You guys are gonna be shocked when you hear her story. And I don't even, why did you start? I'll ask her.
Yeah, ask her, it's all speculation with what I say.
Yeah.
Pretty much from what I gather, she tried to help Joseph's wife, ex-wife, in the divorce only.
They still live together.
So it seems like everybody
Yes,
that
it is.
starts out trying to help this guy is who he starts trying to attack. With the exception of me, I never helped him.
Right.
So you mentioned his criminal history.
Huge rap sheet.
Yeah, but didn't he get it expunged or vacated, or can you?
No, it's all still there.
It is still, you can public records, look it up, and it does come up.
Yeah, I've seen
But
it. I've
it
seen it.
also doesn't have beside it that it is, the charge is still there. I looked into getting my stuff expunged.
Yeah.
But the charge is still there on his, but there is no disposition for it anymore. It's gone. So he did get him expunged.
Yeah.
It is expunged off of his record.
Undisclosed.
But if you went,
Convictions undisclosed.
it's, yes.
What does that mean, Trey?
That just means that some of the dispositions on those are sealed, but that doesn't mean that you probably can't call and get that information from them. And to get it undisclosed, certain are eligible for that. Certain crimes are eligible for that, and certain convictions are eligible for that. It's a petition that needs to be filed, and then they give public notice, and then they make a determination. But it has to be eligible for that. So, bottom line is, some of them are non-disclosed, but a lot of them are still on.
and
Yeah.
where the alleged crimes he had were committed, that state has a program. And I haven't really looked into it too much. I just know that the state where they were from has a program for convicted felons. I guess that once they move, they can get them all wiped off.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's from Washington. His criminal history is from Washington. But it's funny to me how when he talks about his criminal history, he's a success story that changed his life. When he's talking about everybody else's criminal history, we're all still criminals, including me. And apparently,
Gordon,
yeah,
you too.
you
And
too.
I don't have a conviction in over 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. About 15 years at least.
It makes it seem like he's just trying to put everybody in the spotlight for negative things and make himself look like this, whatever, miracle, that when in reality, what he's doing is harassing these people.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable.
Posting
I mean,
their
they-
addresses
they'll tell you,
online,
yeah.
sending them pictures of their house and their old lady's vehicles. I've heard of, yeah.
And then he keeps saying,
He's posted my address all over the internet too.
he gave me the other day, once my attorney filed the lawsuit, literally somehow or another, which we didn't do, because I wanted to keep it on the down low, was somehow or another the Daily News found out, Lowry found out, and next thing you know, there's a video online of him threatening me to
saw
take it down.
I saw
He
it.
gave me till 2:45 where he would release these videos that would, as he says, bury me or sink me.
I saw
And
that.
I'm like, sink? So he's referring to the post he put about the boats, how there's a yacht sank, it's been there for years, under 146 Bridge at Dickinson Bayou. And yes, I was responsible for removal of a bunch of boats at a particular marina.
Yeah.
Which was done with the EPA and the fire department and the city. We pulled, I believe it was 23 boats out of the water, smashed them, we drank all the fluids out of them properly. I mean, it was pain. I actually have photos of one of the boats that had been underwater for 2 years. It took us 3 days to get up out of the water, but
Yeah.
we did it, just so that it wasn't in the water. So all those accusations about all that is so furthest from the truth. It ended up costing
The problem is that he
a lot
doesn't care
for
about
us
the
to get rid of
truth,
it.
and making those statements is a disregard for the actual truth.
Exactly.
Instead of doing his due diligence and finding out what he could have found out about those boats or one thing or another, he just posts something that he thinks, oh, they're doing this. And it incites public alarm and it
Yeah.
incites public concern without warrant.
Never
He
once
does
has he
exactly
reached
how
out.
to do it.
Never once, out of all the accusations, has he ever reached out and just said, hey, I heard this, are you really doing that? You
Yeah.
know?
I wonder how many contracts or business deals he's cost you with his slanderous
I
statement.
have received 3 different calls. I'm not going to mention the house builders
Yeah.
who I'm dealing with. Everyone knows I work a lot with Karen, but that I've been sent prints, been going over the prints and all that, and 3 of the 5 have called me up and asked me if I'd seen that stuff on Facebook. They haven't said nothing bad about it yet.
Yeah.
But there is one job I did on that there's no proof or whatever that the person I spoke to really liked the price I gave.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to get with you tomorrow. We want you to do it. It was half of everybody else's bid and the bid that they had been paying.
Yeah.
And come to find out, Mr. Lowry was connected to this place.
Yeah.
And I've never heard from him again.
And whether people believe what he's saying or not, when it comes to hiring you for a job and then people see this drama, they won't hire you just because they don't want to be part of the drama.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Because then he will attack them.
Yeah, then he'll attack them.
And these prominent home builders, they don't want that. I mean,
Yeah.
they're well-respected, named companies that everybody, the subdivisions use.
Yeah. So I heard you in court, Trey, you said that y'all aren't necessarily trying to sue him for money. Y'all just want like
At that point,
Yeah.
now we'll go after money.
Yeah. And
It was not about money.
Yeah. You just wanted him to publicly retract.
I publicly retract what he said about me, take off the bad things he said, and if it's true, by all means leave.
Yeah.
He wants to post my criminal background, by all means do it.
Yeah.
I'm an open book.
Yeah. Me
You
too.
want to ask me about it, I will tell you. But all I wanted him to do was leave me alone, let me work.
Yeah.
You know,
So, bottom line is, I'm working on an updated petition. We're going to be bringing defamation. We're going to be bringing stalking. They're claiming that he was acting in his capacity as a city council member for the city of Lamarck, which might implicate the city of Lamarck
Yeah.
in something as well.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'm going to go after city of Lamarck I don't have anything against the city. I don't want to sue the city. I don't really think they should waste taxpayer money on that.
Yeah.
It's more important for me that my client gets justice and that, people understand that.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like just got released from the hospital.
Okay.
I had to go pick her up.
All right.
And
Yeah,
Ms. Salazar.
Absolutely, yeah, just
Thank you.
follow up.
See you later, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
telling us what's going on.
Yeah, text me.
He can answer any questions for you.
Thank
All
you.
right, man. Hope your wife gets better soon.
Yeah, she just had surgery.
So, are you the lady Salazar? Are you representing her too, or
Not yet.
not yet? But you're going to be.
Yeah,
Cool.
more likely than not.
The story she told me at the courthouse was just shocking, man. I've been hearing her name brought up a lot on his news network, but now that's the first time I knew who she was.
Yeah.
And I think she's coming here right now. You guys are gonna really enjoy. Well, you're gonna be shocked when you hear her story. There's nothing enjoyable about it. What this guy is doing to people.
Yeah.
She's scared. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to incite fear in these people, and he's bullying them.
Yeah.
It's called cyberbullying.
Yep.
And it's really serious, and it's important that people understand that, hey, look, you know, if we need to take this to federal court in order to prevent any more of this happening, then we will. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break. There she is.
There she is. Thanks, Trey.
Absolutely. Hey.
Hey. We're live on the internet, just to let you know. Come sit down. People want to hear your story. If you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
This is Mandolin Salazar.
Yeah.
I met her at the courthouse, and I've been hearing Joseph mention her name a lot on his Lowry News Network. I never knew who she was or why he was mentioning her name, but you just kind of want to tell us what's going on. Tell everybody what you told me at the courthouse. What's been going on, how you got involved in this guy, what he's done to you, and, you know, just that kind of thing. If people are joining me late, this is Trey Lave Spear, the Texas Spear. They had court this morning over this Joseph Lowry nonsense. One of his clients is going to sue him. This is going to be another lady that's probably going to have to sue him. And that's where we're at now, if you came in late.
Yeah, hello. Wow. Joseph Lowry has been harassing me, stalking me, defaming, and defaming me, and my husband, who has never had anything to do with him, but that's just kind of the pattern with this individual. I have been subjected to all of this for 4 years now, and simply because of what only Mr. Lowry knows why. He picks who he picks. But this is just my, observation because of my experience. But he has does this to people who I think the people who are his political rivalries, and in my situation, his political rivalries have been Mayor Keith Bell and Councilwoman Nancy. I started working in the community of Lamar over 6 years ago, and through the church, and then I ended up having a volunteer network. So a lot of these individuals I met because they are elected officials or they're individuals who work in the community. It is very common when you work in the community, you're going to meet people from different organizations. So I became affiliated and knowing some of these individuals who were very like-minded in the work that I did. And so when Councilwoman Nancy, ran before she was a councilwoman, before she ran, she had a team of people and friends who she asked, hey, will you come and help and support me? And I did. I was one of those people. So I had seen Mr. Lowry on Facebook, and he has been like this. I think it has escalated more with him. More so, I think, when I have, and again, my first time that I ever got to meet this or even knew about this individual was 4 years ago. But because I saw stuff that he was posting about me, I didn't even know the things he was posting about me, with images of a voodoo doll and putting stuff about me. And it just so happened that somebody said, hey, he's putting stuff out there about you. And I'm like, what? I've never known this man personally or professionally. I mean, nothing. You would think that if somebody's putting stuff out there about you, it's because you had conflict with them.
Yeah.
But he does that. He just randomly, if he finds out, if he sees somebody that is affiliated or does business with one of his, what he calls political rivalries, he then just latches on and to find out whatever. Who is this person that they're hanging around with now? What kind of influence did they have? And he just starts doing that. And I'm sorry, but that's not, there's something wrong when you do that. There really is. It's sick, to be honest. But my only, I guess, mistake I made was even meeting these individuals and even being involved, or then, bringing them into my world. And then, there's pictures taken and being posted because we're doing community events and stuff. But really, I guess, I'm religious in some way person, but, the sin that I made was becoming affiliated with these people. Which, by the way, I am no longer involved with any of them. Not even doing any work in that community.
Yeah.
I don't even go to church there, because even going to church there was not safe. Because one time I drove by, and I don't know, they could have just parked there for whatever reason, but, Joseph Lowry's car, him and his wife, were parked in the parking lot of the church.
At your church? Why were
They
they?
aren't.
They don't go there?
No, they're not Catholic.
They didn't go inside?
They were just parked outside. I was driving up, I saw the vehicle, and I just drove off.
Wow.
So I don't even go to church there. I was building a house there.
Yeah.
And my daughter didn't feel safe for us to move there because they didn't think the police department was going to protect us. So we even had a meeting with the police chief and the city manager to talk about the concerns. And they did not make us feel any safer. So I was building a house on the west side of the Mark. And what does Joseph Lowry do? He went on and he posted on social media that I had bad credit. That was the reason why. How would he know if I have any, how would he know? Any of those things? But he's put my address on social media.
That's what he does to everybody. Puts
He's
everybody's
put my
right.
address on there. He has put out there endangering my husband. He's put out there that my husband, first of all, my husband is not an FBI agent, but I don't even know, he twists things, but he's put out there, eventually, I guess, found out, I'm told he hires people to, follow people, but, that endangers my husband, that endangers my family, just so many things that he has done and lied, and doesn't even know me.
Didn't you say he took pictures of your house and posted those?
He didn't post pictures of my house, no.
Somebody else told me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I've had people come to my house and asking my neighbors if I live there, if they know me.
Yeah.
My vehicle, the tires, we woke up one morning and all my tires all were flattened. My car has been keyed. The ultimate thing
You
that
told me somebody put sugar in your gas tank
somebody
too.
put some, well, I don't know what they put in there, but the tank of the motor was damaged, and it's going to cost me $7,500. That was 2 years ago, but I can't prove any of these things. But he did eventually make some post and said something about somebody should put sugar in my tank.
Wow.
So it's like he's just done all kinds of things. I mean, this man is obsessed with me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only word I can tell you. He is just, and again, I hold no political office.
Yeah.
I'm not an elected official. I'm not a business owner. I am just somebody that that full-time volunteers, my time. I used to live in another state. There was things that I did then, but those are not those things that I do now. You know, he has just, lied. Eventually, what has happened to a lot of good people like myself and many others who are not office holders is that he keeps putting it out there. That eventually people believe that that's the truth. I have had people be ugly to me.
Yeah.
In public. I'm not a public figure, but because of him, I guess you can say I'm now a public figure because all these people know who I am.
Yeah.
I've been at restaurants and I can hear people behind, it's Mandalay Salazar.
What are some of the things that he's posted on you online that aren't true besides saying you had bad credit and you couldn't build a house?
God, I can't think of anything right now. I mean,
Well, he said, I mean, I've seen some of the stuff, and she's got material in that folder she's got right there.
Yeah.
Is just plethora of posts and one-on-one comments, and he says things about her online, such as, saying stuff like, somebody should, she's such a bad person, and that, he puts emojis that incites that he's going to vandalize her vehicle, and her vehicle has been vandalized. It's not just the postings with her. Her situation is a little bit different in that not only has there been some postings on the Lowry News Network, which we found out is not even a commissioned media provider at all. It's not even a YouTube channel or anything like that. It's just him hiding behind a fake name and a fictitious Facebook name. But that the things and the threats that she has made, not only against her, but against her family. I know she mentioned earlier that, he put her a fake fact, a fictitious lie about her credit score. She probably has great credit. Who knows? Unless you run someone's credit, which inquiring to the credit bureau, getting that type of information is typically reserved for financiers, i.e. mortgagors, mortgagees, people that give loans, people that finance cars, and stuff like that. So
Credit
not only
providers.
not only has he made statements publicly, untrue statements publicly about Miss Salazar, but he's also made Facebook posts that were done to bully her, that were done to harass her, and that were just untrue. So I hope that answers your question. So she's gotten it from that front for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for more than 4 years.
It's 4 years with her.
Right, yeah.
See, I'm coming in at the tail end of all this.
yeah, and he just does that, and so that's the thing. When I saw, Walter, that he was filing that lawsuit, other people, I guess, had reached out to him too, because I've been talking about that I was going to be, looking at my legal options, because this has just gotten, even with me removing myself and not doing anything in that community, he continues to put stuff out there about me. Even, tying me to being involved in his, his personal stuff with his child. That's something that he's falsely said, that I am involved in with his ex-wife, and that I'm involved, with why with his wife and the allegations that are made about him being abusive with his child, and he
Which is documented, yeah. He's got some assault charges.
He went in front. He has gone in front of. He talks about that all these people have endangered his home and all this stuff, and people are doing all these things, and that people have threatened him. But
Yeah, he
on
said
live-
I'll threaten him too.
Exactly.
He says
But-
I'm stalking him.
But on live video.
He's a victim.
Yeah, but on live video, more than once, he has done live videos in front of his children's home, where that is their primary home with their mother. He has put that on social media,
Yeah.
endangering her and her children, his children, that he says everybody else is doing. He has done that. So he has put that on the live video and said that I'm involved. I mean, I'm involved with all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's so much that it's not even funny. If his toilet was to be backed up, and he was to put on there that I was involved in, some conspiracy that I went and did that, he would probably make people believe that I'm involved.
So-
I mean, I mean, I don't even know, I hate to use I think we use the word to describe him because, just to cope with things as crazy.
Yeah.
But it's deeper than that. I mean, this person is doing things that are unlawful and they're wrong. He is impeding on people's constitutional rights to be able to live freely and thrive.
Yeah.
He is doing those things. And I have filed police reports. Harvey, I have filed police reports, many of us. So don't think that some of us, people out there are like, oh, you need to file a police report. Here's the thing. I have filed police reports in the city of Lamar. I have filed police reports in League City where I live. And the district attorney has refused to do anything about it. I am one of many other people. Let me tell you another thing he did. He started a business he went and filed a DBA with my name and the name of Councilwoman Yancey.
What's that? What's a DBA?
The deed of business, is it?
Doing business as, it's a fictitious name.
Oh.
That you typically file under the Secretary of State. And that's where, so for instance, my business name is Trey's Office PLLC, Professional Limited Liability Company, but my doing business as is the Texas Spear. So that's a doing business as.
Yeah, so it's how you register your business. So he went and filed that here in Galveston County, and then went and told people that he was running some, I don't remember, it was one of his campaign things, one of his campaigns that he was doing. I don't know if it was for the tax rollback, but then he goes out and tells people, oh, guess what? Councilwoman Yancey and Mandlin are supporting me. And he put on there that he was using it to get money from people. So I don't know if people actually donated money to him using my name and Councilwoman Yancey. He's done stuff like that.
Wow, that's
I mean,
crazy.
and I contacted the county clerk, and he said that there was nothing I can do about it. I filed a police report. I filed a police report. You would think that when somebody's doing that that's against the law, right?
Sounds like fraud.
Well, it is, but guess what? This was filed over in League City.
Yeah.
Guess what? Do you think anything happened? Nope, nothing happened to him. So, is it that the district attorney will only prosecute and bring cases to our courts if you are a Democrat? Because if you're a Republican, which I am not, is it that only Republicans in our county have justice and are protected under the law? I have not received equal protection under the law. Many of us have not. But I have not received equal protection under the law because of my political affiliation, that District Attorney Jack Brody has not done anything to Mr. Lowry because Mr. Lowry identifies as a Republican.
Yeah.
And I hate to excuse myself, but I will have to take a break now. But yeah, Robert.
Yeah, we're finna wrap this up. One of my phones already died.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Trey. We
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Did you want to talk after this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll come and I'll call you.
Yeah,
when I'm
okay.
done.
Thank you, Trey.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So, it is sad that we all have to, dig into our own pockets and because that's what the district attorney told me. He said that I needed to basically file a civil case against him. That is from the district attorney.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me. You've heard what I said. What are your thoughts about this? I mean,
It's so hard to prove. I mean, like a crime, I don't know.
that's
It's,
it. He
you know,
posts
yeah.
he posts all these different things. Okay,
The
so-
stuff that he's posting about you that's not true is more of a civil thing, which, you know, that means you would have to file a civil lawsuit, and it's damaging your reputation.
But under the harassment, but under the harassment laws, and I'll send that to you.
Yeah, the
When-
harassment laws.
Yeah, under the harassment laws, these are harassment.
And stalking,
And
yeah.
stalking, all of that, that is not civil, that is criminal.
Yeah.
And so there are multiple reports of that.
They could, and see, here's what's crazy about me doing what I do. I was recording a police officer in Fort Worth, and they charged me with the statute you're talking about. Stalking and online harassment was a felony. It cost me thousands of dollars to fight it and win, because everything I did was under the First Amendment, freedom of the press.
Yeah.
But what he's doing is, he's not doing it, you know, him being at your church, showing up at your church and posting false things about you, and, you know, but with him being a political figure, the DA, like, they'll go after somebody like me for it, but with him being a political figure, they won't go after him. That's my experience.
He was doing these things before he was a political figure.
Yeah.
You know, lying to people that I'm involved with things of the city. I am no longer and have not for, you know, way over, I mean, maybe going on 2 years now. I pretty much had to tell, you know, these people, leave me out of y'all's politics. You know, leave me out of y'all's stuff. I don't do things. There's a void in that community.
Yeah.
You know, there is a void in that community. I used to do community cleanups. Somebody shared with me, there's a library there outside of the school. It was complete little, you know, portable little library. It was completely empty.
Yeah.
You know, books, we used to give books to kids, you know, who don't have access to books. There's just all kinds of things that I've done, you know, to help work with families there, and that's not happening anymore. You know, it's not safe for me. I've done community cleanups, and Joseph Lowry has literally driven by while I'm there. He will go on live that I'm doing, you know, where I'm at, what I'm doing, and he is literally, like, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's very
So
creepy.
he's done that, you know.
Yeah. He's
people
doing things like, really, I mean, some might argue that he's not breaking the law, but what he's doing is just dirty crap, you know. But him showing up at your church to harass you, that should be a crime.
Here's the thing. I don't know why he was there. The vehicle was parked there. I don't know if these people are all over the place doing. I mean, they follow people. They do stuff.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. He could have just been there watching to see if I was going to show up.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know. So there's things that I can prove and things that I can't.
Yeah.
But I
You
mean,
took screenshots of him posting your address online?
we have all that stuff.
Good.
We have all the stuff that, I mean, it's.
Your tires have been slashed, your cars have been keyed, and somebody put something in your
the
gas.
motor in my
Yeah.
vehicle,
But you
and-
can't prove who did it. But you haven't had any problems with anybody but him.
No, because the cops asked me, like, what's been going on? I caught somebody breaking into my car.
Yeah.
I caught somebody breaking into my car. That first year when all this stuff was happening, I had somebody that I caught breaking into my car. Here's the scary part. When I saw the individual, it was dark,
Yeah.
and I screamed, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know what the person did? They said, "Hey, man,
Wow. And then they ran or what?
and they ran. I got scared. I ran inside. So by the time I came, they weren't there. But people believe that they were probably trying to put a tracker or something on my vehicle.
They might have. See what he's doing, it's called gang stalking. He's gang stalking you. And it's a lot of psychological and mental warfare, but it's very effective, and that's what he's doing. He's gang stalking you. And he's doing it to me, he's doing it to a lot of people, but that's what he's doing.
And that's
And it's
what he
real
does.
hard to prove in court, but you
And
know.
that's what he does. What he does is that's what he uses his social media for, is so that maybe he's not the one but he makes people believe in his cause.
Yeah.
That, oh, I'm fighting corruption and all this and that. And eventually one of us is going to get hurt really bad, because one day he's going to influence a person that is going to just go
Yeah.
and take one for the cause, because they believe that they're angry, they're angry about something, and they believe that, you know, their life is shitty because, you know, people like me or people like Keith Bell or Kim or whoever.
Yeah.
And so he endangers us, and he does not realize that. And
Yeah.
that's the part. He's done this to so many people. How can somebody not see the harm that he's doing to our whole county? How can people not see that?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or what. I don't care what your political affiliation is, because I have friends from different political backgrounds.
And he hasn't exposed any real corruption or any real crimes that he claims he's exposing corruption.
He has not done
He hasn't
anything.
exposed anything. He hasn't exposed any illegal political. He hasn't exposed nothing that I know of.
He hasn't, and I mean, he says he's taken steps with the district attorney, and he's given it to all these different people.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's not the most educated person. You
Yeah.
know, I actually sat in on a hearing because, you know, I wanted to hear, like, what information can I get that is going to be helpful in my lawsuit.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that, he will, you know, sometimes maybe just fixate on stuff, and then he just, you know, puts it out there, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lies. And are there some things that maybe he might bring up, that there might be some truth to some of the things? Probably, but this is what I tell people. You need to find another spokesperson, because he is not a credible person.
Yeah.
He actually is causing harm to whatever it is your cause is or what you believe. But Mr. Lowry should not be that person, because
Yeah.
he is not credible. He is using all of this to hurt a community.
Yeah.
And really, when you really dig into the stuff, are some of the things that he brings up, are they things that we should question? Probably, but that doesn't mean that it's corrupt. Perhaps it's about good governance.
The biggest thing that I've heard him bring up is this thing that the mayor doesn't live in the city, and as far as I've seen, that's been proven to not be true. He has several residents there.
Do you really want me to tell you about that?
I mean, it's just not really, because it's just baseless. I mean, I'm just saying
I
that
actually know the story.
he's not exposing any corruption is my point. That's the only thing that I've heard he
Arthur,
say.
do you want me to tell you about that?
Is the mayor lives in the city, I know, right? He's got a residence there.
Ask me the question and I'm going to tell you.
What do you know about this subject?
I know from a conversation that I had with Mayor Keith Bell
Yeah.
and his wife,
Yeah.
because they called me.
Yeah,
His wife called me. We were friends. We are not friends anymore.
yeah,
Because politically, these individuals have never, I think if there's anything that I just get upset about, is that through all of this, Harvey, not once has a mayor or Kim Yancey ever defended me in public. They've never defended me and said, Mrs. Salazar has nothing to do with any of this. They
Yeah.
have never done that. But yet, I have been asked, hey, what do you think about this? Can you help with this? But they never have ever done that. When Mr. Lowry put that out about mayor, I ended up having a conversation with them, and this is what I know. Does Keith Bell have a residency in Houston? Yes, he does.
I knew he
He
did.
has a residency in Houston.
I heard he rented that because he was getting threats and Lowry was posting his
Well,
address
Let
online.
me tell you what I know.
Okay,
So they were both on the phone. I asked, how did Mr. Lowry get all that information? Because, you know, there was a story, it seemed, that the mayor was trying to make it sound like it was false.
yeah,
And this is what I know. They told me that Keith did have that apartment over there, and the reason was because, what you just mentioned, that the mayor was being, you know, that they didn't have a safe place, and that was just kind of an escape.
Yeah.
Okay, I said, well, how did you get all this information? So what they told me was that some man impersonated a police officer, but the actual landlords that own the property are elderly. So this individual impersonated a police officer and went to the actual owner's house, who were elderly, and they got scared because they were told that they were needing this information. So they provided a copy of the lease and all this other information, but that that it had been, given to this individual for Lowry, falsely. And I said, that is a crime for somebody to pretend to be an officer. And
He
you
did
should
that
report it.
with me too. When he first started harassing me, he tried to play off like he was a police
Well,
officer. He told me his badge number was 187. So this is
He
right
hired
down his
somebody-
MO.
He hired somebody to impersonate a police officer, to go to those people who are the property owners of that property,
Yeah.
to get that information.
Yeah.
That's how he obtained it.
But Keith Bell still has a residence in the
Okay,
city
Wait a
too.
minute. So I do know that they
Yeah.
have that. I actually drove out there and I saw for myself. So yes, I have seen the mayor going into that, and only him, not anybody else.
Yeah.
I did that because I had a connection in the past, and I felt like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Because I actually helped him during his recall election. And it was upsetting to me to find out if he was really doing this. So I went out there. Probably about a couple of weeks later, his wife, then I don't know if they're divorced yet, calls me, and we're talking about the same thing. She admitted that they had gotten into a fight,
Yeah.
and that she had, kicked him out. She admitted that to me.
Oh.
Because they were going through a divorce, but people do that.
Yeah.
So she never told me if she kicked him out and that's where he went, but she did tell me that she did do that. So does it match up? Yes. But it's like I told them when they were on the phone. Well, if you're trying to find a place to escape, why would you go to Houston? Why not get a place like further away? If it's supposed to be a place for y'all to escape, why would you pick Houston, which is in the park where it's at? So for me, I don't really buy what's going on with that. I
Yeah.
think that because of the marital status, that was the thing and that was the excuse. But legally, guess what?
Yeah.
The mayor does have a residency right now on the books.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole reason.
And so here's the thing. Legally, as long as he has his property on the tax rollback right now,
Yeah.
then guess what? He then legally
Yeah.
can run for office and hold office.
Yeah.
That's the law. If you don't like the law, then change it. But the law does. So
Yeah.
does he have a residency somewhere else? Yeah, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
He's no different. But I know the personal side. And the personal
Yeah.
side is that there were things happening in his personal life
Yeah.
that could explain why he ended up getting that. But there's nothing wrong with that.
I
Because
don't-
again, he still has that. And
My whole point is he's not exposing corruption. Nobody even.
that's not corruption.
Yeah. Nobody even cares about this.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what, Harvey? You know what? There was an election.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that was out there before the election. And guess what? The mayor got reelected.
Exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying. Nobody even cares about it. It's a dead
Nobody
subject.
even cares.
It's
But
not. He's not
I
exposing
I
corruption.
wanted to share with you
Yeah.
the personal story of what I know because I knew about that. And when I look at it, it
Yeah.
was that there was something going on in their personal life
Yeah.
that would explain why, and they're maybe using that as an excuse, but the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because the way that their home is set up, I think there's another separate house on the property,
Yeah.
and then there's a big house, and this is, again, I don't know because I just know people around them. I guess what they worked out is that one stays in one of the houses and the other one stays, I think that's how it's worked out. But who cares if the guy has a house there?
Yeah, nobody cares.
And he got reelected.
Yeah,
So move
exactly.
on.
Nobody cares. This guy's not exposing any corruption. If that's the biggest corruption that he has to report to the public,
No.
he's just a joke.
There is no, he may not like the way they're governing. There's a difference.
No,
That's not corruption.
It's not.
It's not.
it's not corruption that anybody cares about.
It's not, well, it's not corruption, because it's like, you may not like the way somebody governs, the
Yeah.
way that they do things, okay? But there was an election, and guess what? They reelected the mayor.
And he hasn't done anything illegal.
And guess what? They elected Lowry.
No.
So why is it that he just lingers, you see? It's
No.
like he can't go,
I thought that it was. I've been thinking for a couple of weeks now that this guy just loves attention. But then when I think about the fact that when the newspaper showed up to his house and wanted to do an interview with him, and the camera showed up, he runs and hides. So it's not that he wants attention. I mean, what is it with this guy, man? Why is he doing all this to all these people? He wants attention, but when the cameras show up, he runs and hides like a little girl. When I show up at city council meeting to say my public comment, 2 out of 3 times he runs in the back and hides. So I'm just trying to figure out how this guy's mind works,
I think that you would need to, get a professional, psychologist to sit there and analyze,
Yeah.
and maybe even a criminologist, because some of the things that he does, I don't know. All I know is that, when you look at where we learn, people go off to college and they go somewhere and they learn, or they go to school, and that community of education really
Yeah.
helps to build who they are. And it's safe to say that, Joseph Lowry, his form of education, if nobody knows, was, in the Washington State Department of Corrections. That's where he got his education.
Oh, wow.
Because that's where he spent, he was, in and out of jail. So he was
Yeah.
in some of the, some prisons. I can tell you which prisons they are, because people have shared with me. But that's
Yeah.
where Joseph Lowry has gotten his education. His education, think about it. Everything that he's learned and everything has been influenced in the most, negative way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the easiest way for me to explain it. He thinks that he's still, I guess he's dealing with a bunch of people, that are, he calls us thugs.
Yeah.
He thinks we're all thugs. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
We're thugs.
Well, he
We're thugs.
calls me a criminal, and
We're thugs, we're criminals, we're crooks. So,
but he's a success story. Yeah.
yeah,
He refers to himself as a success story.
I'm a success story. I'm sure you feel that you're a success story.
I am, yes.
But I don't know. All I know is that the public has a right to know about everything that he has been doing to all of us.
Yeah. That's the main thing, public exposure. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
You just met me today because I was there.
Yeah, she was there just to observe because she's been being harassed too.
And the thing is, because I'm gonna be a witness for Mr. Burke.
You're a witness, yeah.
They wanted, to show the court that there is a pattern of behavior.
It's a pattern,
with this individual,
yeah.
Of what he does. I just told you, I don't have public office. I'm not a business owner. I hold no role.
Yeah.
So why would you think it's okay? And it's because he does that. With Walter, it's because he is a construction owner
Yeah.
who so happens to be affiliated with somebody that Joseph Lowry sees as a rivalry or political opponent, which is Mr. Coran.
Corinne, yeah.
And that's what it is. So,
Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Is there any last words you want to say here, Miss Salazar? Because this.
what I want to say is that we need to expose this openly.
That's what
And
we're
if
doing.
And if there are more people that have been his victim,
Yeah.
and I say victim because they have, because, you know, he clings on and he just continues to do this.
Maybe when more people see this, more people will come forward.
Please have him get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And you've already made some connections, so you know.
Absolutely.
There are people that have attorneys here now. So that's what I was urged, you know, people to do. I expect Joseph Lowry to go off, like, I mean, in an awful way. Once he sees your video and I'm on there, I expect for him to go and say, I'm crazy. and-
Miss Salazar, he's watching right now, I
Yeah.
promise you.
Yeah, I can.
Is there anything you want to say specifically to him? Leave her alone? Tell
You need
him.
to stop, because you know what? I'm holding you accountable, you know?
There
And
you
you should
go.
expect a lawsuit, you know, coming. And all this stuff is gonna come out, and I'm gonna start collecting names, and everybody is gonna go out there, you know? And the thing is that, you want people to, you know, respect you, and you say that you care about your family and everybody else. Well, I don't think you really do, because if you did, you would stop going around and creating conflict with people.
Yeah.
You know, and you just need to stop.
And if you keep
because-
messing with her, she's going to tell me, and I'm going to make a video about it, and you're going to keep going viral.
Yeah, but please.
The whole
reach out to
world
her.
is watching
Yeah,
now.
What I say is people just need to reach out to you, and more victims.
Yeah.
We need to start speaking out, and our voices need to be heard. And
Heck yeah.
I really hope that people will also maybe make some calls to the district attorney and say, what the hell? Why aren't you doing anything?
Yeah.
Why are you letting this guy? I mean, there are people now that are coming out. When you start looking at the people that Joseph Lowry's attacking, guess what? No political line is like, you know, he's not letting political lines be used as a reason why who he picks. You're going to find that some of the victims, some of us are Democrats and some of us are Republicans. So
Yeah.
he uses the whole thing about political, but really when you start to see, he doesn't care. who
He
you
doesn't
are.
care.
He
It shouldn't
doesn't
matter.
care. No,
Yeah.
it shouldn't matter, but he uses that. But anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Salazar. You guys, this phone's dying, so I'm going to end this. Thanks, everybody, for joining. If anybody has any information or stories, if they want to come forward, reach out to me. I will let your voice be heard. See y'all later. All right.